Good afternoon, welcome to VANIK-IAS. We'll discuss current affairs of 17th May. First, with reference to pardoning power of President, which of the following, consider the following statements. Both the President and Governor can grant a pardon in cases where the punishment or sentence is by a court martial. Second is, the pardoning power of President or Governor does not extend to death sentence cases. Reprieve means delay allowed in execution of a sentence, usually a death sentence. Which of the following statements are correct? Actually, the question is which of the following statements are incorrect here. Which of the following statements are incorrect? First statement is obviously incorrect. Both the president can grant pardon. No. In case of her punishment sentence by death martial, when the punishment is by court martial, in that case only president has the power, right? Only president has the power to award death, to has the power to award pardon in case of court martial. There is no power of governor. First thing. Second thing is that pardoning power of governor does not extend to death sentence. This is right. This is incorrect. This is correct. Yes, it does not extend to death sentence cases. Only in all other cases, governor has the power of pardoning power, right? Okay. Remember Article 72. Article 72 talks about pardoning power of president. Pardoning power of president, and Article 161 talks about pardoning power of governor. Power of governor, right? Okay. So here 1 and 3 reprieve means a delay that is allowed in execution of a sentence, usually death sentence. Okay. So which of the following statements are correct? See, 1 is wrong. 1 can never be in the option. It is in wrong. Doesn't extend to this. 2 is right. 2 is right. So yes, we can the only option will be, see, 1 2 can never happen. If the question is correct, then 1 2 can never happen as 1 is wrong. So only 2 and 3 options will be right. 2 and 3 options will be right? So the thing is that president cannot, governor cannot give cannot have the power of pardon in case of court martial, and he has his pardoning power does not extend to death sentence cases. Next. With reference to inside mission, consider the following statement. It is NASA's mission to the moon. It is part of discovery program. It is part of the moon. NASA's mission to moon. See, this insight is your interior exploration. Means field from inside is interior exploration. Interior exploration using seismic investigation. Right. So this is insight. It is a part of a discovery program. Yes, it is a part of a discovery program. So which of the following statements are correct? Let's see. Okay. It is not on for moon. This is for Mars. This is for Mars mission. It is not for moon. So first option is wrong. For Martian surface, right? It is the first mission dedicated for looking deep beneath of Martian surface. That means the interior of Martian surface will be discovered by this mission. That is InSight mission, not to moon but to Mars. So two only option is the right answer. Okay. Next, Formosa Strait located between which of the following? Taiwan and Philippines, mm, Japan and Russia, Korea and Japan, Taiwan and China. See, suppose this is China and this is your Taiwan. Right. Taiwan. This is Formosa Strait. This is Formosa Strait. It is between Taiwan and China. This is China. It is between Taiwan and China. Formosa Strait. Right. D is the answer. Okay. With reference to Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries (OPEC), consider the following statements. OPEC. It was founded with the signing of an agreement by 5 countries, namely Islamic Republic of Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. Yes, it is founded in Baghdad Conference, remember. So this is first option is right. India is not a member of OPEC. Yes, India is not a member of OPEC because it's not an oil exporting country, right? Petroleum exporting country, right? So this is a permanent OPEC is a permanent intergovernmental organization mental organization. It is created by Baghdad Conference. Remember, Baghdad Conference, 1960. Members are Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Venezuela. Right? Okay. Basically, it manages the supply of oil to set the price in the world market. This is the job of OPEC. And India is not a member of OPEC. It is established in 1960. Yes, it is established in 1960. Its headquarters is at Vienna, Austria. Vienna, Austria is the headquarters of Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. With reference to marital life in India, with see another organization we may discuss, International Energy Agency, right? International Energy Agency, Energy Agency. It is called as IEA, right? Why it is established? It is to ensure reliable and affordable energy. It was established in 1973 after the oil crisis. In 1973, at that time, oil crisis happened. Saudi Arabia stopped its supply of oil to the world. So at that time, International Energy Agency is created that will work to ensure energy security and economic development, sustainable development, right? All these things, and its headquarters is at Paris. Headquarters is at Paris, France. Okay, this is the International Energy Agency. Remember, India is an associate member. It became an associate member India became an associate member in 2017. Right. Okay. Next. Okay. Section with reference to marital rape in India. With reference to marital rape in India, Section 375 of CRPC provides an exception for marital rape. The principle of consent in perpetuity allows marital rape. Which of the following statements are correct? Right. See, this section 375, it defines the acts that constitute a rape by a man. Right. There are certain exceptions, but they are yes. So this question is provides an exception for marital rape. No, this is not actually. We can say not that there is exception for marital rape, but there is certain exception which states that, for example, the sexual acts by a man with his own wife is not rape. That says that. So in that case, CRPC provides an expense for marital rape. It cannot be calculated as rape by a man if his wife and more than his her age is more than 15 years, right? So section 375 provides for an exception for marital rape. Yes, it provides exception for marital rape, it is right. Then the principle of consent in perpetuity allows marital rape. Yes, when a person is for example, when a person is married, we say when a person is married, then it allows that it is not criminalized till now. So here both the statements will be right actually. C will be the answer. Right. There are two exceptions in case of section 375. One is it decriminalizes the marital rape. It says that medical procedure, medical procedure or interventions shall not constitute rape. So especially in case of marriage, a husband and the relationship between husband and wife, that cannot be considered as rape under the exception 2 of section 375. So here the both the options right. Okay. Then consider the following statements with respect to IMF special drawing rights. Special drawing rights, SDR norms. The SDR is neither a currency nor a claim of IMF. Yes, it is neither a currency nor a claim of IMF. First option is right. SDR basket is reviewed in every 5 years. Yes. Then next question is in the recent review of IMF. In the recent review of IMF, the weight of dollar and yuan from their earlier weightage has declined. In the recent yes, in the recent review of IMF declined the weight of dollar and yuan from their earlier weightage. This statement is wrong. So only 1 and 2 options are right. It's neither a currency nor a claim of IMF. The SDR basket is reviewed in every 5 years. That is also right. Okay. You may see the number, the types of, you may see the currencies that includes in SDR. Your US dollar includes in SDR, or euro is included in SDR. Euro. Japanese yen. Japanese yen is also included in as SDR. Pound sterling and China pound sterling of UK and Chinese renminbi. Chinese renminbi or yuan. It introduced in 2016. That they are in the basket of the SDR basket of currencies are these US dollar, euro, Japanese yen, pound sterling, and Chinese renminbi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Indian rupee is not yet included. And then International Monetary Fund, IMF is created in 1945. IMF created, they are called as Britannic institutions. Right. What are the reports by IMF? Global Financial Stability Report. Global Financial Stability Report. Financial Stability Report. Financial Stability Report and World Economic Outlook. World Economic Outlook. WEO. World Economic Outlook. Which the following statements are correct regarding marginal cost of funding based lending rate, MCLR. Banks cannot hike their MCLR. Which of the following statements? Yes, bank can hike their MCLR. Right. Bank have to decide that MCLR means marginal cost of funding lend is a minimum lending rate below which a bank is not permitted to lend. Right. So that is the limit set by MCLR set by the RBI. A bank can have its own MCLR that is above that rate. As for RBI, suppose 7% is the interest rate below which you cannot lend. Then a particular bank can have 7.2%. So this statement is wrong. So only one is the right answer. It is the minimum. It is the minimum lending rate below which a bank is not permitted to lend. That is MCLR. Marginal cost of fund based lending rate. Okay, next question. Which of the following statements is not correct regarding dengue? Dengue is prevalent through India mostly in metropolitan cities. Yes, especially it was highly prevalent in case of Delhi. WHO recommends that dengue vaccine can only be given to persons with confirmed previous dengue infections. And unlike malaria, dengue is caused by protozoa. No, it is Aedes aegypti that calls the mosquitoes. So it's not by protozoa. Aedes aegypti by during the daytime. Yes, D is the answer. It's a virus, dengue virus, right? So D is the C is the answer. D is right. C because C is incorrect. All other statements are correct. Examine the following statements regarding the monsoon in India. Every El Nino year leads to less rainfall, and every La Nina year leads to more rainfall in Indian subcontinent. Yes. Every El Nino year leads to less rainfall. Yes. There is no one. There is no one. There is no one to one correspondence, but general relationship between Molino and Enso. Yes, there is general relationship between Molino and Enso. Both are interrelated. So here both the options will be right. First will be right. Yes, El Nino year receives less rainfall, and La Nina year receives more rainfall. El Nino means warm current will develop in Peru coast. Warm current temperature, that means temperature will increase and pressure will decrease. So air will flow from Indian subcontinent towards the Peru coast. That will decline the effect of monsoon because the moisture air flow towards the Peru coast. That's why there is less of rainfall in Indian subcontinent. That's why the So first option is right. So both 1 and 2 are the right answer. Then consider the following statement with reference to National Adaptation Fund. National Adaptation Fund for climate change. Just a second. Okay. National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change, and it is a central sector scheme. Yes, central sector scheme means only it is won by the central government. Yes. Now what is the implementing entity? Yes, this is also right. It is implemented in 10 paper plan. No, it started implementation in 2015. Right. So it's not in 10 paper plan. So second is wrong. 1 and 3 options are the right answer. Okay. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. We will discuss Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, then uh, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. First, let's discuss the prelim fact. North Atlantic Treaty Organization (NATO). Recently, Russia had said it will be forced to take retaliatory steps over neighborhood Finland's move to join NATO. Right? Finland is also trying to join NATO. That's why Russia has said that it will take retaliatory steps. What is NATO? It is established in 1949, headquartered in Brussels, Belgium. India is not a member of NATO because India was in non-aligned movement. Right? It was an intergovernmental treaty military organizations, also called as Washington Treaty, between 30 countries. See, membership is 30 countries across the world, including United States, Canada, several Western European nations, to provide collective security against Soviet Union. Collective security means if one country is attacked, it will be deemed that every country will deem that they all are attacked. So all the 30 countries will jointly attack against the enemy nation. Right? That is the basic principle of NATO or Washington Treaty, which has 30 members and the headquarters is at Brussels, Belgium, established in 1949. And India is not a member of NATO. Poland Hungary says Republic joined NATO in 1999, followed by 2004 by Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, and former Soviet republics of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. So gradually, Croatia, Montenegro, all they bringing NATO membership to 30 nations. All the once upon a time, these countries were the part of USSR. Now they have become the members of NATO, which is threatening the existence of security and creating a security threat towards Russia. That's why Russia is objecting that there should not be any NATO members in NATO extendment, NATO extension towards eastward, right? That is why it has also attacked Ukraine on the same basis that NATO has promised that it will not move eastward, but it again tried to, include Ukraine in it. Recently, again, Finland is also taking steps to join NATO. The military objective, it is committed to peaceful resolution of disputes. If diplomatic efforts fail, it has military power to undertake crisis management operations. Political objective, it promotes democratic values and enables members to consult and cooperate on defense and security related issues to solve problems, build trust, and in long run prevent conflict. So the military objective is peaceful, the committed to peaceful resolution of disputes. Diplomatic efforts fail, then military power to undertake. So military power is the last option, because it is based on the principle of collective security, right? Collective security. Next, political objective is to promote democratic values, enable members to consult and cooperate, defend security related issues, solve problems, build trust and prevent conflict. These are the political objective of NATO. The key provision of Treaty of Article 5, remember this Article 5, it states that if one member of the alliance is attacked in Europe and North America, it is considered that an attack on all members, that effectively put Western Europe under the nuclear umbrella of the US. That means here the leadership is under the US. So obviously they all, it's one type of another block politics in the Cold War time, right? Since colder period it is still existing, and that even exists today, and it is also expanding. And the provision is that if one member is attacked, then all member will, that will be deemed to that all members are attacked. Article 5. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. What is Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana? Recently, right to information RTI application was filed for 3 oil marketing firms to find out the status of PM Ujjwala Yojana. Status of PM Ujjwala Yojana. Okay, this is what is this Ujjwala Yojana? Financial 90 lakh beneficiaries of the government flagship program. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana didn't refill their cylinders. Around 90 lakh beneficiaries didn't refill their cylinders, and over 1 crore beneficiaries refilled their cylinders only once. So the situation is very difficult. They are not refilling the cylinders. Why? Because the price of the cylinder has increased. Distributor record drop in LPG cylinder bookings. As per the reply filed by government in Lok Sabha, the LPG consumption under Ujjwala Yojana remains 3.66 refills per connection annually. Right? 3.66 refills per connection annually. Right? So annually three cylinders are refilled for connection. Why they are not going through? Because COVID effect. These figures also take into account the fact that during COVID-19 pandemic, the government provided up to 3 free of cost LPG refills to Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana beneficiaries from April 2020 to extend up to December 31, 2020. Then commercial LPG prices hiked. PM Ujjwala Yojana beneficiaries have availed 14 crore free refills under the schemes across the country, as per the reply filed by Union Petroleum Ministry Lok Sabha. So around 14 crore free refills was given on by the ministry, and the reasons are the income level of people are declining because of various effects like COVID effect and post-pandemic economic crisis, and also there is a lack of global demand, rise in various prices of the commodities, high inflation, and also another thing is that there is the current effect of Russia and Ukraine war. The price of fuel has increased a lot. It has become almost 1000. So PM Ujjwala scheme, it is a scheme of the Ministry of Petroleum and Gas for providing LPG connections to women. LPG connections to women from below poverty line households. The scheme originally launched 2016 in Valia, Uttar Pradesh by the Prime Minister of India, which target releasing of 8 crore connections by March 2020. During Ujjwala 1.0, the target was set to provide LPG connection to 5 crore women members of BPL households. 5 crore women members of BPL households. Initial target was this, but already it has lost this 9 crore. It has already the in Ujala 2.0, so over 9 crores connections have been released. 9 crores have been released under Ujjwala scheme. Subsequently, the scheme has expanded to 2018, including women beneficiaries for 7 more categories, that is SCST, Pradhan Mantri Awas PMAY, AAY, most backward classes, tea garden, first dwellers. So, of various types of depressed classes they have got included in the category, and they are given cylinders under PM Ujjwala scheme. This target was achieved in August 19, 7 months ahead of the target date. 7 months ahead of the target date, they have achieved the target, and it is launched in yes, so 2.0 is launched in 11/20/22, making provision for release of additional 1 crore connections. So, government having a aim of in total 10 crore LPG connections. Government is planning to do so. Okay, what are the benefits? What are the benefits of this Ujjwala scheme? This 2.0, it's additional 1 crore LPG connection under PMUY was announced. 1 crore additional PMUY connections, Ujjwala Yojana, aim to provide deposit-free LPG connections to those low-income families who could not cover under the earlier phase of PM Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Those who have low-income families, those who do not have gas, now they can do not have gas. Now they can have their LPG connection within that 1 crore families. Okay. Other benefits, it will provide fast refill and hot plate free of cost to beneficiaries. Fast refill and hot plate free of cost to beneficiaries. Hot plate free of cost means hot plate in where we will cook. That will be free. Enrollment procedure will require minimal paperwork. Migrants will not be required to submit ration card or address proof. A self-declaration for both family declaration as a proof of address will suffice. It will help achieve Prime Minister vision of universal access to LPG. So, these are the benefits under Ujjwala Yojana, that is promising LPG cylinders to the depressed classes. What is the significance of this? First thing is health benefits. Health hazard associated with cooking based on fossil fuel. About 50 lakh deaths in India due to unclean cooking fuels. 50 lakh deaths happens in India due to unclean cooking fuels, and that need to be restricted because by giving LPG. Women empowerment, women have saved the danger of collecting firewood from long distances. Social benefits, productive activities, connection to women's name, environment, less pollution due to fuel burning. Challenges, high initial cost, no support by the government at refilling. State forces the poor to pay more. Yes. Administrative concerns, for example, data discrepancy in Aadhaar, because they are based on Aadhaar based payment system. There is also some data discrepancy. Logistic, lack of last mile connectivity and filling plants in rural areas. In rural areas, refilling become difficult. Behavioral concern, despite LPG, people still use food to save cost. Because of the high price of LPG, there is also behavioral concerns. Right? Some people have some behavior to uh, use wood, right, to save the cost. What is the way ahead? Strengthening supply chain, ensuring affordability, availability, and accountability. Accountability means there should not be any errors. Availability means they need to be available in the rural areas, the last mile connectivity in the hilly areas, in the rural areas, and there should be affordable. That there should be affordable means that it should be of low price so that a poor can purchase. So this is all about Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Okay. Next question is, India and the European Union have maintained a robust strategic relation. However, in some critical areas, there is still room for enhanced cooperation between both. So the question is, what is the status of relationship, and what are the critical areas, and how both can enhance their relationship or leverage their advantages in some areas where there is convergence between the both countries. Introduction. India and European Union relationship dates back to 1960s, when India was the first country to establish relationship European Economic Union, which later evolved to common market. It has become common market. European Union, there is around 27 countries who have common market. For more than a decade, EU and European Union and India partnership had been a slow moving and fragmented. Most of our trade is concentrated with United States. It's concentrated with our neighboring countries and China. So far as European Union is concerned, we have slow moving trade. And UAE also, we have developed relationship with UAE, economic relationship with UAE, struggling to maintain momentum. India was acknowledged as a strategic partner in 2004. Remember, strategic partnership, it is a status in 2004. But 17 years on, there is still no mutually agreed set of clear priorities. EU-India relationship failed to acknowledge each other's partners' individual realities. The realities is very difficult, difficult as well. For example, India want liberalization in services, right? Or European Union, but they are not liberalizing the services. European Union want India to liberalize its dairy sector, but we have a huge amount of population who are directly dependent on dairy sector, especially the rural women of various states. So if India will liberalize the dairy sector, then these people, the women, they will suffer a lot, and they will lose their livelihoods. That's why India is hesitating to liberalize in certain sectors where what EU is demanding. Today's change circumstances provide two sides with a set of opportunities to move forward. Long structural agenda to stronger ties between India and European Union. Right? Okay. So India and European Union are looking to conclude negotiations on comprehensive trade agreements. Comprehensive. Both are they are looking to conclude negotiation on comprehensive trade and investment agreements before beginning electoral cycles on both sides in 2024. So before 2024, both are trying to develop the comprehensive trade and investment agreements that will enhance the trade relationship between both the countries. Okay. Various facets of India-EU bilateral relationship. Trade and investment. The European Union is India's largest trading partner, accounting for 12% of India's overall trade. 12% of India's overall trade, largest trading partner. Further, the trade in services have almost tripled in last decade, so it is getting increased. Overall, European Union is second largest investor in India with around 17 billion euro FDI from April 2000 to March 2017. Second largest investor, accounting almost one quarter of all the investments close to India. So it's a huge source of investment. European Union and India remain close partners in G20. G20, it is the organization for 20 major economies. Have deployed regular microeconomic dialogue to exchange experience, economic policies, and structural reforms. So far as macroeconomy is concerned, both countries, India and European Union, both are cooperating with each other and participating in the common organization of G20. Energy conservation, India and European Union, clean energy and climate partnership, because that is very essential at present time to ensure energy security and to counter the challenge of climate change. Research and development. India participates in international ITER fusion. India also participates in research and innovation funding program Horizon 2020. Environment and water. The European Union and India also cooperate closely on the Indian Clean Ganga initiative and deal with other water-related challenges in a coordinated manner. So both are also cooperating regarding in Clean Ganga initiative, right? The cooperation is essential because every country has different expertise, different technologies, and for example, they have different requirements. If two countries develop good relationship with each other, they can both can cooperate in every dimension. Suppose India has in a particular dimension, suppose India has advantage, we can help the European Union. Suppose they have advantage, they can help also in India. So cooperation always leads to economic growth between both the countries. Okay. Yes, European Union and India common agenda on migration and mobility is a fundamental cooperation between agreement between European Union and India. European Union is suffering from the migrant crisis, that is especially from the Middle East areas. After the this rise of ISIS and various terrorist organizations in Middle East, many people from Middle East fled to European Union, and that created a migrant crisis in European Union, right? That creates a security concern in European Union as well. So that is a issue, and both country, India is also suffering from the problem of migration. There are very so many illegal migrants in India. It has become historically there is so many migrants in India who are illegal, and both the countries have same problem. They have a common agenda regarding migration and mobility. One thing. Another thing is that there is cooperation. Migration, one is illegal migrants. Second issue, those people who are working professionals. In India, Indian people they should go European Union and work. Right, that is migration and mobility for a particular job, especially in case of service sector. India is a service sector hub, so India should develop a relationship with all the countries so far as service sector is concerned. How Indian people will go there and work there, that's facility should be made by India. For example, we have a large scale diaspora in case of United States, because we have a huge diaspora is working there because we have liberalized the rules and regulations. Similarly, such similar relationship can develop with European Union and bring remittances to our country and provide them employment. Okay, development and cooperation, over 150 million euro projects currently ongoing in India. So European Union is heavily investing in India. Opportunities for stronger India European Union ties. India wants to pivot away from China. Obviously, there is an issue of China. It's an aggressive state. It's not a democracy. It recently signed comprehensive agreement of investment with China, which has drawn a lot of flack, that and ratification has now been suspended because diplomatic tensions. There is tensions between European Union and China. The European Parliament remains overwhelmingly opposed to deals after the China imposed sanctions on some of its members in response to EU imposing sanctions against China for the treatment of Uyghur Muslim minority in Xinjiang region. Right, China is violating human rights in the on the Uyghur Muslims in the Xinjiang regions. That's why some European Union countries are imposed sanctions against China, and in return, China has also imposed sanctions regarding EU goods. That's why the tensions between both European Union and China has increased. With the European Union being India's largest trading partner and second largest export destination, the European Union logic is strong. Logic of strong India-economic relations is self-evident, right? So both countries have convergence regarding human rights and democracy. So, and it is the second largest export destination. So both can cooperate so far as economic relationship is concerned. And the virtual summit saw India and European Union launching an ambitious connectivity partnership in digital, energy, transport, people-to-people sectors, enabling the two to pursue sustainable joint projects in regions spanning Africa, Central Asia, and wider Indo-Pacific. So, in areas like Africa, wider Indo-Pacific, and in India, these countries can cooperate with each other, right? Both countries they can develop in work jointly in to develop digitalization, energy transport, people to people contact, and pursue sustainable joint projects in the region to ensure sustainable development. Right. Okay. Next. Exports view. India has untapped export potential. There is a export potential of $39 billion to EU in Western Europe. There is untapped potential. That means we have the potential to uh, we have potential of a trade of 40 billion more than it is today to European Union and Western Europe. The top products with export potential include apparel, gems, jewelry, chemicals, machinery, automobile, pharmaceuticals, and plastic. India benefits from tariff preferences under European Union generalized system of reference GSP for several of these products. So there will be increase of trade. There is a huge potential exists. In fact, India is among major beneficiaries of European Union GSP, that is Generalized System of Preferences, with export under GSP valued at nearly 19.4 billion 2019, accounting for nearly 37% of India's mercantile exports from the European Union. So India is hugely benefiting from the European Union's generalized system of preferences. And there is also another huge amount of potential, that is around $40 billion. New emerging world order after COVID-19. As European Union seeks to move away from global supply chain that is overly dependent on China, India can emerge as a most natural ally. It is move away. This want to move away from China because China is every country is overly dependent on China, and that create the demand of China, and China is rising. It's aggressive state. It is not behaving according to international norms. So everybody want to diversify their needs, and they want new supply chain that is not solely based on China. There is significant untapped potential to expand India-European Union bilateral trade relationship through a free trade agreement. The free trade agreement will deliver enhancing India's market access in key services. For this to happen, regulatory barriers such as cross-border supply as well as provision of services through temporary movement of professionals will need to be addressed. That will need to be addressed. So there are various yes, regulatory barriers are there that need to be addressed, and also temporary movement of professionals that need to be addressed between India and European Union. Concerns in India and European ties. There are some concerns. Start European India European BTIA. It is being negotiated in 2007. Both sides have major differences and crucial issues. What European Union demands: significant duty cuts in automobiles, tax reduction on wine, spirits, a strong intellectual property regime, relaxation in India's data localization norms, protection from all items with geographical indication, etc. Right? So there are various demands of European. For example, duty cuts in the automobiles. We do not have a strong intellectual property regime because we have to provide the medicines to become a huge number of poor people in case of India and also in Africa. Right? For example, your generic drugs that is given by Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Kendras. If we strengthen our intellectual property regime, then such generic drugs and such things cannot happen. So we cannot have a strong intellectual property regime like the West expects from us. Data localization also, we have a policy of data localization to ensure data security because data mining and data misutilization is a common thing in nowadays. That's why there should be data localization norms. There should data localization. That means if you are creating, if you have some digital media in India, you should store your data in case of India. That is data localization. India's demand, data secure status. India for important for India's IT sector. Ease of ease of norms for temporary movement of skilled workers, relaxation of sanitary and phytosanitary, technical barriers regarding of their barriers to trade. This need to be addressed. Right. So data need to be addressed because on these grounds, for example, your relaxation of on these grounds, that is data secure status for IT sector to see, that is data cannot be linked, all these things they are creating additional barriers to the trade between India and European Union. Trade imbalance: India accounts for only 1.9% of European total trade in goods in 2019, well behind the China 13%. Trade imbalance is expected to further increase with the ratification of European Union Vietnam Free Trade Agreement, EU Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement, which will make Indian exports less competitive. Right? So trade, there is issue of trade imbalance, issue of trade deficit. India's perception of European Union, in views of Europe, it views European Union primarily as a trade bloc, preferring bilateral partnership with member states for all political and security matters. These are evident from lack of substantive agreements on the matters such as regional security and connectivity. So, the it's simply a trade bloc, and so far as political issues is concerned, you have to contact with the individual member states, not with the whole bloc. So, this is all about your India European Union relationships. Then another challenge is there is Brexit. It is unclear how European Union withdrawal from EU will affect India's relations with European Union as whole, because Britain was the gateway to European Union. Human rights concerns of European Union Parliament has critical of both Indian government decision to scrap Jammu and Kashmir Special Status and Citizenship Amendment Act that are the internal matters of India, and they should not interfere so much. So this is criticized by European Union. So what need to be done? To translate their common values and common action, European Union and India can work in third countries to consolidate democratic process and build capacities in transitioning regimes through strengthening electoral and parliamentary institutions. So both countries can strengthen their electoral and parliamentary institutions and ensure common values of democracy. European Union can collaborate with India, facilitate connectivity and infrastructure projects. Both countries can cooperate with each other to ensure to enhance the connectivity projects in third countries, particularly smaller states in South Asia, often fell prey to power politics and fiscal instability, resulting in financial loans and political influence on the part of Belt and Road Initiative. Now, Sri Lanka has been suffering economic crisis, so there should not be power politics, and there should be sustainable development. There should be collaboration between different countries. That's why India want European Union to interfere in South Asia. Thus, as highlighted by European Union strategy on India after 2018, India and EU to take their relationship beyond trade lanes, recognize their important geopolitical and strategic convergence in the changing global order after the COVID-19. The COVID-19, Russia-Ukraine war, and the global instability in the Middle East, the migrant economic crisis, the issue of climate change, all these things, and the steps India we should take to combat the climate change. In such scenario, the relationship between European Union and India is paramount, and they should resolve their disputes and move forward in the relationship. That will ensure sustainable development for both the countries. So we have the lecture completed today. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to VANIK-IAS. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Murali. Murari.